Hello, Patricia Holmes here. This is our final video for Chapter 6. We're going to finish it up, and although we're basically going to be adding text and we're going to be doing a few things, it is a bit time consuming, so I'm going to try to work really quickly. Okay, before we do anything, the author's asking us to add a layer. I'm going to move it up here a little bit higher so we can see it. It's called information. It's going to be holding text. Go ahead and click that icon on the layer that looks like a camera. That's going to assure it aligns with the camera perspective of the view. And the other thing the author is asking us to do is to select the layers and push them out a few seconds. So the text is going to show first and then the orbiting. So we're just simply going to hit F5 here, and I'm going to push everything out to begin a few seconds later, and then the text will be first. So click on this text layer right here on frame 1, and click on the rectangle tool, and what you're going to see in the property window immediately under tool is the color and style option. Have the stroke set at 0. The stroke is essentially the frame look. And then the fill at 50%. I chose kind of a lighter gray, white area looking one. Do a drag across your screen here and let go. And then what we're going to do on the same layer is we're going to come over here to the text. Click the text tool. Now before you do anything, come over here to the property. You can make sure first of all, you have to make sure it's on static text. So you have an option here. Make sure you're on static. You can pick any character you want. You're going to adjust the size after you type it out. And you're also going to want to make sure in the paragraph section you're centered. So we're going to be typing some text, but it has to be timed perfectly in this movie. Otherwise, the text will not align up with the planets and the orbiting. So bear with me. It's going to take us a few minutes to walk through here. But on the first frame, what we're going to do here is we're going to type Juno's journey to Jupiter begins. Whew. There's a lot of J's in there. But before we do that, I realized that my text color has to be changed. So with the text still selected, come over here to the fill color. I'm going to pick a bright red so you can see it. And we're going to come over here and I'm going to click and drag a text box. And we'll reposition it in a second. Juno's journey to Earth begins. This is so exciting. We're adding kind of a caption of it. And then we are going to click in. We're going to hit the selection tool. And then see how that text is still highlighted. I'm using my arrow keys to center it. Okay, I like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this one frame and I'm going to copy it. So on my keyboard it's Command C. We're going to copy all that and we're going to paste it and then just edit it. That's going to speed up things. Okay, so the next what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to frame 90 approximately on the same layer. We're going to click a keyframe, a blank keyframe. It doesn't have to be a blank keyframe, but the author is asking for a blank keyframe. So we can go ahead and go insert timeline blank keyframe. We're going to move the timeline now over to frame 118 where the second text option will appear. Again, this is approximately 118. And I'm going to copy my text and paste it onto the screen right here. And that accidentally just jumped onto frame 90. Hit Command Z. Let's come over here to roughly frame 118. Let's go insert timeline blank keyframe. There, click in it, hit paste, and our text is over here. I'm going to grab the selection tool. I'm going to move it up here. And I'm going to edit this text, use the T tool, and then edit this text. And the next thing we're going to type in here is Juno heads back to Earth. Okay, good. And then we're going to terminate this one. That's on 118. Should disappear. This one should disappear at roughly 190, 192. Let's click on, see how that one is there lined up. So let me move my text box up so you can see it. Here we go. Insert a blank keyframe again. That's going to terminate it. Now we're going to come over to frame 236. 236. And we are going to, we're lining it up actually with this icon. And we are going to type in something else, but let's go ahead and insert a blank keyframe. Let's do our paste again. Let's move this, grab the arrow tool and move this up here. This one escaped. Move that up here. Okay, so use the arrow tool, position the gray. And then right here on this frame, we are going to change it to Juno uses Earth's gravity as a slingshot. Hit the T tool. Come over here. Oh, what just happened? Click Control Z. All right, let me make sure I'm on that frame. So click on it. I went to the timeline. Click on it on frame 236. Here we go. And then Juno uses Earth's gravity as a slingshot. Okay, we just type it in on 236 and that should disappear on frame 336. So let's come over here to 336. Make sure you're on the information layer. And then we're going to hit we're going to go insert timeline blank keyframe. And then we will do our final caption on frame 454. So move on over here to 454. Roughly 454. Insert a blank keyframe. Insert timeline blank keyframe. Paste your text. Grab your selection tool. Move this whole party up here. Okay, good. Now we're going to edit this text. Click the T tool. Come over here, edit this, and we are going to say Juno arrives at Jupiter 5 years later. Wow. Juno arrives at Jupiter 5 years later. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are pretty much done. We're going to save our work, so go ahead and hit Command S now, and we are going to export it. Remember, I showed you how to export it in the last chapter. So we're going to go File, and we are going to go Export, and we're going to make sure you choose the Video Media selection, and we are going to save it as a movie. One of those MP movies will work fine for me. I think this is going to be too big of a file for you to send. If you can send me the FLA file, which is the work in progress file. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. Now, I do want to say before I even hit play that it's not going to be as perfect as your movie. My movie will not be as perfect as the Adobe people. They have their nice studio and they can make this perfect. So this is I just want to be realistic. So when you send your work over to me, it doesn't have to be perfect, but let's see what we have here. Looks good. That looks good. It's getting ready to re-loop. Hey, I think that's pretty darn perfect. I'm kidding. Okay, guys, that concludes chapter 6. Thanks for listening.